So as we have started in the earlier classes, and will continue it forward to discuss the basics of the industry first, so that you get yourself acquainted with what are some of the terms, what are some of the industry people involved, the type of organizations involved, before we actually start delving into the actual BA related topics. Okay, so in that series, first day we discussed about some of the commonly used terms. Day two we had general discussion, and then day three we were talking about the history and the history of how this BA role was created and the evolution in the IT industry. Now, in continuation to that, what we will do is today we'll be discussing on the type of IT companies. So for all those people who are new to IT industry, this will be important as you understand what are the different type of companies that can exist, what type of work can you expect within those companies, okay, so that you can accordingly prepare yourself. So let's get started. Now majorly there are two type of companies present within the IT sector. One is called the product based company. Second one is called as the service based company. See, remember, we are not talking about the hardware or infrastructure related companies. We are only talking about the companies that are involved in either producing software or marketing software. Okay. Now let's take the first one, the product based company. So when it comes to what a product based company is, I think we have a broader idea that companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Google, we call them as product based company. Okay. But what actually makes them a product based company? Why are they called a product based company? So in order to understand that further, so what happens is in a product based company is they identify a problem that needs to be addressed or solved. Okay. It doesn't necessarily, sorry, it doesn't necessarily have to be a unique problem. Okay. It doesn't have to be something that has never been solved. You can obviously be engaged in it, but it could also be an existing problem where solution is present, but then you are not okay or happy with the solution that's being present currently. Okay. So first you identify a problem, then you build a solution around it. Okay. Say for example, problem is that I want to, whenever I want to search for something, okay, whenever I want to search for something, the problem is that I have Google available. No, availability of Google is not a problem, but then I type in something in my search criteria, and then I get hundreds of websites in results. Now I don't know which website exactly will have answer to my question. So what happens is I'll have to go through all those websites. If I don't find my answer, maybe I'll have to tweak my question. Now that's a little bit of problem because I'm not getting straightforward answer every time. What could be the solution? Now people have started building the artificial intelligence related Gen AI. Okay. Now the Gen AI will not give me hundreds of different links to go through and browse. The Gen AI will most probably give me direct answers. Now we all can argue whether that answer is correct or not, but at least the good point is that I'll not have hundreds of different links to go through and then identify if that's a correct answer or not. I just have one response and I just have to evaluate whether that response is correct or not. Okay. So you could identify a problem. Once the problem has been identified, you build a solution around it. Okay. Now, once you have a solution built, that means basically you have a product ready. You can call this as product. You can call this application. You can even call this as a software. Now, whatever product or software you have, you start marketing it or advertising for it. Once people start noticing your product, they will probably buy the license for using the product. Okay. So see, the entire work stream in a product based company started with a problem and building a solution around it. Okay. Now, if I compare this with a service based company, what happens in a service based company? You don't identify a problem first. You are dependent on identifying clients. I'm looking for a client who may have some problem and who wants software related solution for their problem. Okay. Now getting back onto the same example of this Google and moving from Google to IT, sorry, to AI, the same thing could happen in the service based industry, but in a slightly different manner. And that manner could be that there is a client, okay, who wants to build an AI solution but does not have the capability to do so. So they want some IT company to do the work for them. Okay. So in this case, what may happen is an IT company may identify clients who are looking for who has a problem and who wants a solution for it, and then they both can get into agreement, and the solution could be even here also more or less the solution is the same thing, but what happens is it all starts with a client. Okay, there is a client in place who is going to give you the work. If you look at the product based company, the client comes into picture at this particular stage. Okay, client does not even know that you are building a solution, you are doing something like this. You identify problem, you build solution, your product is ready, you start advertising or marketing it. Maybe because of your advertisements and strategies, clients take a notice of it and they buy the license for using it. Okay. Whereas in service based company, we don't involve client at the end. We involve client at the beginning. Client is at the center of everything. There is a client who wants an IT solution to a problem. So service based company doesn't necessarily work on identifying a problem. They actually work on identifying clients who have a problem. Okay. So once you identify clients, you talk to them on what kind of problem they have. Then you build a solution for them. Once the solution is ready, basically your product is ready. Now you don't have to worry about, you as in the IT company doesn't have to worry about any marketing thing. Okay. The IT company doesn't have to worry about even the licensing aspect of it. Okay. All what we do is once the product or solution is ready, client, okay. So this is basically what may happen in a product based company versus a service based company. Now there is one more thing that can that is just to get started. One more important difference between the two type of companies is that in product based company, the ownership of the software lies with the IT company. Okay, so ownership of the software or the product. Now, when it comes to service based company, the ownership of the software is with the client. Okay, ultimately client that is giving me the money, client that is giving me the work, and client is only telling me what kind of product they require. Okay, so the at the end what happens is the ownership is with the client. I may build it, I'm doing the work for them, and for doing that work I'm charging money, but the software ownership does not lie with a service based company. The software ownership lies with the client only. Okay. Now we'll take few examples of it. So some of the examples of a product based company could be Facebook. Okay. So now it is Meta, but if you see the way Facebook product is built, okay, Facebook is not building the product on the basis of a client. Okay, they have an idea in mind. They had a problem that people are not able to connect socially across different geographies. Okay, they don't have appropriate mechanisms to do that. So let's build a social networking website, and that's how they built the Facebook. Now they keep improving or adding new features or remove some of the existing features. They keep doing that. Okay. Now exactly Facebook exactly is not allowing or asking the customers to buy the license for using the product. They are giving it for free, but then we all know that they actually make money through a lot of money through advertisements. Okay. Similarly, Microsoft is a product-based company that has lot of products like that have lot of products, and one of them is like MS Office. So MS Office, you will get things like Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint. Okay, so you can either get these products readily into your laptop, or if you don't get these products into your laptop, you can even buy these products. So when buying, you need to buy the license for using the product. So Microsoft owns these products. Microsoft allows you to pay for the product and start using it. Another such example could be the companies that offer antivirus softwares. Okay. So for example, McAfee, okay, Avast antivirus, etc. What all these companies are doing is they actually give you antivirus software that you can use in your laptop or desktop. Now you they can offer you for free for basic services, that if you like those basic services, or they can give you free for a certain duration. After that duration you need to pay for these softwares or buy the license to using these softwares. Okay? That's how the product based companies actually work. They actually have a product in place and they can ask the customers to pay the licensing fees for using the product. Okay. Whereas when it comes to service based company, they don't get into any licensing cost and all those. All they do is they build the product, they take the money from the client. Once the product is ready, it is up to the client on how they want to do the marketing, how they whether they want to give it for free to their customers, whether they want to charge money, because the ownership of the product is with the client and not with the service based company. Okay. Some of the examples in this case could be more, I'm just writing the names of the popular companies. It does not mean that any other company which does similar work and I have not written means it's not a service based company. Okay. Some of the popular ones could be TCS, Infosys, Accenture, Wipro, HCL, wherein what they do is they focus on identifying clients who require some type of IT solution. And then they work with the client, collaborate with the client to get the work done. Now we'll go through one more point and then I'll stop to see if there are any questions. Now, the next point in this in this series for product-based company is how the teams are structured. Okay, so usually in product-based companies, they try to create two category of teams. In product-based company, they try to have two categories of team. Now these teams could be named differently in different product-based company, but I'll give you the idea. The first one is called the engineering team. What that engineering team does is, or what is the responsibility of the engineering team is, they are responsible for developing the product. So suppose I want to build a solution. Again, I want to maybe build this Gen AI product. So engineering team will be responsible for building this product. Okay. Now execution team will be responsible for using and customizing the product. Okay. So whatever product has been built, my engineering team will not worry about the use case of it. Okay, so suppose to give you an example of this case, we are currently in my previous organization. We worked on a simple tool. Okay, what that tool will do is it will try to convert COBOL programs to Java programs. Okay. Now the engineering team was given the opportunity to build this particular product. A product will take input as COBOL program, and whatever the COBOL program input is, it will try to build an equivalent Java program. Okay. So that responsibility of engineering team was just to build the product, do some basic testing to ensure that the product is working as expected. That is for my engineering team to do. Now, what my execution team was responsible for is that utilizing the product. For example, identify how many COBOL programs are there. Okay, validate that Java programs are giving same results. Okay, now my some of my COBOL programs could span across different applications. Suppose if 1000 COBOL programs are there, then what kind of strategy I'm going to create to convert all those 1000 programs? Now in IT industry, we don't convert all 1000 in one go. What we do is we split it into small pieces, that let's identify 10 programs in the starting, then we will convert 100 more programs, then we will convert again 100 more programs. We will create a strategy to convert all these programs in next 6 months. Maybe we can run COBOL and Java parallelly and then identify if both are giving same results or not. So execution team responsible for creating a plan on how to utilize that product. Okay, engineering team built the product, and then if you give them feedback that hey, while we were testing the product, we found out that in some cases the product is not giving expected result. You share with the engineering team what is those scenarios or cases where product is not giving expected result. Engineering team will further modify the product. Okay, so engineering team is on only concerned with building the product. Execution team is only concerned with having a ready to use product and then customize it as per the requirements. Okay, so most of the time engineering team will build a basic product. For example, let me open Google. Let's take Casper Sky as an example. Okay, now what happens in this case is engineering team has built the product. They have built the product end to end. Okay, now it's an example of a small product, but that should give you a pretty fair idea about how these customizations work. Okay, now if you see this Casper Sky premium plan. Yeah, there are three categories: Casper Sky Premium, Casper Sky Plus, and then Casper Sky Standard. In Standard, what you get is these are the only options that you get: real time antivirus, safe browsing, two-way firewall, anti phishing, virus removal, emergency recovery, and performance optimization. But the moment you switch to Casper Sky Plus, see, you start getting some additional features as well. Okay, and if you move on to Casper Sky Premium, you will have even more features attached to it. Okay, does that mean that this particular company Casper Sky has built three different products? No, there is only one product with all the features in it. But what they are doing is, depending on how much money you are ready to pay, depending on how much money you are ready to pay, they vary the features significantly. Okay, so for example, in a standard offering, they are giving you some basic features. In Casper Sky Plus, they are giving you some more features, and in Casper Sky Premium is where you will get all the features of the product. Okay, so that is where even the product based companies, they actually work. So the execution team, okay, will customize the product as per client's requirement. A comprehensive product is built. Suppose if this notepad is a product, client says to me that I don't want this view option, this zoom, status bar, word wrap. they are of no use to me. So remove the view option, give me only file and edit. I will just use file and edit options in my notepad. So what execution teams will be responsible for is they will customize the product as per the client's requirement. So remove the view option, give them only file and edit, so that accordingly the client will have to pay for what they are using. Okay. So in IT companies, in IT companies category, product based companies, you will have opportunity as a BA to work in engineering team, okay, which is responsible for product development, or as a BA you have opportunity to work in the execution team, where you are into client facing role and you predominantly work with client to customize the product as per their need. Okay. Now when it comes to service based company, in service based company there is no such distinction. Okay. In service based company there could be one team as such, there could be multiple sub teams present within that greater category of one team, and everyone will be taking care of different category of work. Okay. So maybe there is one bigger team, one management team, and under that there will be multiple sub teams. Sorry. You may not have exact engineering and execution team, but what you can what you can majorly have in the IT, in the service based companies are, sorry guys, are development team and production support team. So development team is responsible for building the product, and production support team is responsible for once it has been deployed to production environment. Okay, remember we talked about the production environment in our initial class. So once a product gets deployed into production environment, that is where the production support team comes into picture. That is, they will identify if the clients or the customers of the client are having any issues utilizing the product, or have they identified any bugs or problems with the product, then how do we resolve it. Whereas development team will be responsible for identifying the requirements of the client, and then how do we implement those requirements, how do we test those requirements. Okay. In case of service based company, you may not require a separate execution team, because whatever product you are giving to the client, that is up to the client on how they want to utilize it. Okay. Now I did not mention production support team name over here. Okay, because sometimes the execution team, they themselves can do the production support, because they are actually providing a finished or an end product to the client. Okay. So in some cases this execution team could also be called as production support team. That depends on, like I said, how the different companies put names against their team. Okay, there is no compulsion that you have to call your teams as engineering team, execution team, or development team, or production support team. Okay, what really matters is the category of the work that they do, and not what their name is. Okay, different companies can call these teams with a different names altogether. Now I'll take a pause here to see if there are any questions. Hey guys, I'll take the silence as no questions. Now, pretty much whether you work in product-based company or in service-based company, I think you might have an idea by now what type of work you can expect as a BA. Whether you work in the engineering team of a product-based company, you'll be responsible for product development. If you work in execution team of the product based company, you're predominantly responsible for the client facing role, customization of the product as per client's requirement. But customization does not mean that you are going to redevelop the product. Customization only means that you offer three options like file, edit, view. Customer does not want view, you are providing them only option of file and edit. Or customer says that I don't want edit option, give me only file and view. So you do that assessment. Can we offer one product without offering another product? Or sorry, can we offer one feature without offering another feature? Sometimes features are interdependent. Okay. So in cases where client is asking for something that cannot be worked as such, for example, if client says that I don't want paste feature, give me only cut and copy. So as a BA in the execution team, you can educate client that if you just want cut and copy, what will you do with it without having any paste feature? So paste is dependent on cut and copy, or cut, copy and paste, they all go together. So we cannot do customization in this category. Okay. Maybe I can remove this search with Bing feature for you. Okay. So there are certain customizations that may not be allowed. There are certain customizations that will be allowed. As a BA in the product based company, you must be thorough with the product. So BA must have thorough knowledge of the product. Okay. So whether it is about product development as an engineering team, whether it is about product customization as an execution team, you must have thorough knowledge so that accordingly you can either make modifications if you are working in engineering team, or you can accordingly offer customization if you are in execution team. Okay. Now that is one aspect that may remain common over here as well. That as a BA, whether you work in product-based company or service-based company, the software or the application that you are working on, you have to spend good amount of time to understand that in detail. See, people who make a remark, people who become critical, people who are loved by the company are the ones who actually build good amount of knowledge of the product. Okay. If you have average amount of knowledge, if you have below average knowledge about the product, no one would really be cared to actually stop you. Okay. So if you are not happy, if you are not getting your promotions, if you don't get your career growth as you expect, as you are expected, and you want to leave, people will not be bothered if you don't have good knowledge. If you have knowledge, people will be running behind you, that yes, do everything to retain this guy or retain this person. Now that is it from our discussion on the type of IT companies. I just wanted to give you an overview on this side so that you can understand what type of job opportunities lie ahead in what category, based on the type of company, what's the type of work that you can expect. Okay. Now we will move on to another topic, and that topic is actually about understanding some pre-project activities. Okay. Now, what are these pre-project activities, and why are we actually talking about it? So let's understand one thing, that as a BA, you don't directly get the work. Okay, people often have confusion that as a business analyst, I am responsible for identifying new clients. I am responsible for getting work from those new clients. Okay, so there are two categories of work that we discussed over here in any service based company, and that is, first is identify clients, then start discussing what their problem is and identify solution. Okay, so identification of client lies under the pre-project activities, and the people involved in this category are sales team and marketing team. Okay, there is no mention of a business analyst being involved here. Does that mean a BA can never be involved? A BA can definitely, out of choice, if they like it, they can switch to this team, but this is majorly a non technical team that is responsible for identifying clients. Okay, so for client identification, what happens is you basically want someone who is good in selling things. So you basically identify sales and marketing team or sales and marketing people who are good in advertising, building reputations of a company, building a good brand for a company, and then selling their skills. Okay, now what these people actually do is they either utilize their contacts, connections, okay, to identify the clients that may require some work. Now these contacts and connections, see, most of the time, if you, even if you decide to start your own IT company, how are you going to get clients? Okay, you do get clients through marketing and advertisement. If you market a lot, if you advertise a lot, maybe some client will see it and they may approach you that we saw your advertisement, we saw your marketing posts many times, and we wanted to talk to you regarding one of our work. That is one option. The second option could be that you do it through your contacts and connections. Okay, that maybe when you are starting your own company, you may reach out to, let's say, suppose if you are building a software for supermarket, you are trying to build a software that can be used by the supermarket stores. Now, what you can probably do is you can reach out to those supermarket store owners. You can talk to them. You can discuss with them that you are building a software. You can try and convince them what kind of software you are building and that it is easy to use. All that you can try to do by personally talking to them, or you can utilize your own connections. You can tell your friends, families that, hey, I have started my own company, I am building this software for supermarket stores. If you come across any of the supermarket stores, just let them know that I can help. Okay, so either you do this marketing and advertisement so that client will reach to you, or you personally reach out to each one of them, or you utilize your contacts and connections. Maybe you get your first contract, you do nice work, and then this client will go and tell the other clients that, hey, go and join this company. This company offers very good software solution to all kinds of problem. So one client will lead to another client, then two clients may lead to four clients, eight clients, like that. Okay, but at the end of the day, a BA is not responsible for identifying clients. Okay, so let me just put it over here. BA is not responsible for identifying clients. Okay, And the only reason we are doing this topic is so that you understand what happens before uh, before a BA starts getting involved in any category of work. Okay, so out of all these work that happens, now out of all the work that happens, actually the entire initiative starts with RFI. Okay? That stands for request for information. Okay, so at this stage what happens is client has some requirements. Okay, let's not call them requirements, let's say client has a goal, a vision. Maybe I want to build an e-commerce platform. Maybe I want a software for my supermarket store. Maybe I want a software for my grocery shop. Maybe I want a software for managing the billings uh, of of the petrol pump that I have. Okay, I could be client in any domain, and I could just have a vision or a goal. Okay, now in this vision or a goal, what happens is I will provide my goal or vision to the IT companies. Okay, I will identify as a client, I'll identify a bunch of IT companies, and then I'll provide them information. Okay, that is where your RFI comes in. Request for information is nothing but providing more information. Client has a goal or a vision. Now the IT companies, if they feel that the information given by the client is not sufficient, they may ask for more details as well. Things like, how much time do you think this entire product should be ready in? Okay, if client is looking for a time frame of 6 months, then we must assess whether we can deliver something within 6 months or not. Okay, maybe in an ideal world we will take 9 months, but if 6 months and 9 months are little bit close, maybe we can hire more people, maybe we can ask our team members to work day and night and then get the work done. Okay, but suppose in an ideal scenario a work take, let's say, 1 year to do it, and client is looking for something in 6 months, then maybe we should not touch that work, because it can bring bad name for us. Why bad name? If you promise a client that I'll give you in something in 6 months, and if you give after 9 months or 10 months, it will bring bad name. Okay, so RFI client will share their goal and vision. Through this step, through this particular process, what happens is IT companies try to extract more information from the client. Okay, now for extracting more information, you can send emails, you can meet personally, you can talk on phone, you can talk on using any other software, but basically you are trying to extract more information at this particular point in time. Okay, for example, how much time you have, or how you want to use the software. Okay, you try to get into details of all these aspects. Now once you have all this ready with you, the next step is called proposal. Okay, that is RFP, or request for proposal. Now in this step, now that the IT companies have fair bit of idea on what client is actually looking for, see, having a vision or a goal is not enough. IT companies talk to the client to get more information out of it. Okay, maybe at this stage I have a client. Okay, and IT company, let's say, these are the IT companies. A client will not just talk to one IT company. Okay, they know, unless you are going through contacts or connections, maybe in such cases you may not visit multiple stores, but if you are going on your own, you will definitely want to have backup. Okay, and this you can say from our practical purposes also. Say for example, you want to buy a mobile phone. Okay, now what options do you have? You can either buy it online or you can buy from a store near you. Now, suppose if my friend tells me that, hey Rahul, go and check this particular Samsung Galaxy store. They offer wonderful customer service, though the price may be costly, but you will not be surprised at all, or you will not have any problems going forward. They will give you wonderful service. They will help you. They will treat you nicely. They'll talk nicely to you. Everything is wonderful. So what happens is, if my friend is recommending a particular store, I will not do any research. Maybe I'll not go online and check the rates. I'll directly go to the store. If it fits my budget, I'll directly buy from there. But if no one is giving me any recommendations, then probably what may happen is I will try to find out how many phones fit into my budget. Then from where can I get phone that offers cheaper rate, but at the same time offer me good services as well. Maybe something will not be extremely cheap, but I can compromise that I may pay something extra to get better service as well. So if no one is giving me recommendation, probably what may happen is I'll do my research first. I'll check the rates online, I'll check the rates in the store, and then accordingly make a informed decision. Whereas if someone is giving me any recommendations, probably I'll not do any research. I will just follow the recommendation because I trust my friend. Okay. So in this case, we are assuming that there is no recommendation. That's why client has invited multiple IT companies. Mostly in cases of recommendation, you may not even go through the RFI. You will directly submit information and ask the company to share their proposal. Now, when it comes to proposals, proposals could be in the form of a PPT, PDF, whatever that appropriate mechanism could be. But what really matters is the information that is contained within the proposal. So any IT company, they first try to give an overview of the vision, that what the client is actually looking for. Okay. Then they talk about the IT company. Okay, who are we, how long have we been in this industry, what kind of work we do. Okay, basically everything about the IT company. They may share some recent review or feedback as well, a positive review or feedback, so as to convince the client that, see how good or positive feedback we are receiving from our clients. We are serving so many happy clients. You can take a look at their testimonies and then assess yourself. Okay, then what will be our solution to your goal or vision. Okay, how much time we are going to take to build this solution, and what will be our plan to implement this entire solution. I'm giving you a solution that I'll build a website for you. You can log into that website and do all your billing activities. Okay, that's my solution. In order to implement that solution, what is going to be my plan? Maybe in first month I'll just give you a website. In the second month, I will give you some data related capabilities. In third month, I'll do some additional features. Like that, in 6 months, your product will be completely ready. Okay. So basically, all these five IT companies, they will give their proposals. Now, looking at the information, like what the IT company does, how much the experience they have, reviews, feedback, solution, time, plan, all that. A client may shortlist few companies. Let's say a client shortlisted these three companies, that looking at their proposal, I really like these three companies. Then the last part is quotation. If you see till now, we have not at all discussed about how much money the IT company is going to charge. Once the client likes the proposal, then that is where they will discuss about the money aspect here. That okay, good that you have submitted me a proposal. Now let's discuss how much money you are going to charge me. Okay. Now once you discuss on the money aspect, an IT company can usually provide money aspect in two ways. One is called fixed fee, one is called resource based. So in fixed fee, what may happen is an IT company can tell the client that I'll charge you 1 million US dollar flat fees. Okay, 1 million US dollar, and I'll give you the work in 1 year. You give me the work, you want the work in 1 year, I'll do the work in 1 year, but I'll charge you 1 million US dollar. You don't have to get involved in the work. You don't have to worry whether I hire 10 people or 100 people. You don't have to worry about managing my people as well. You will get the work done at the end of it. Okay. Now fixed fee are more preferable because client get to know the money that they have to pay. Okay, so that they can accordingly plan their budget. The second one being resource based, they don't get a clear idea of how much they have to pay. In resource based, you come up with billing rates. Okay, what these billing rates are, suppose for example I'll say that for a Java developer I will charge you 20 US dollar per hour. Okay, for a Python developer I will charge you, let's say, 30 US dollar per hour. For a tester, for a QA, maybe I'll charge you again 20 US dollar per hour. So based on the skill set, I'll give these billing rate to the client, that these will be my billing rates. And then based on my plan, I may give them a rough idea that you know what, I will be hiring mostly, I'm not saying exactly 50 people, but somewhere around that. So maybe I'll have 40, maybe I can have 60. These numbers could go up and down when we actually start the work. But roughly, I can give you that we may have 50 people. Okay, now we are not saying with conviction that how many people will exactly be needed. So client will have to do these calculations that okay, $20 per hour. If I have 10 Java developer means $200 per hour. If every developer is going to work for 8 hours, then 200 into 8 is 1600 hours. So every day I'll have to spend 1600 hours. So like that, they will have to do some calculation, but they will not know the exact amount that they need to pay. Now, for all those clients that are happy in managing the IT company resources, they go with resource based. Okay, you just don't want to pay the IT company just like that. So what happens is you hire a manager on your side. That manager is responsible for seeing which how many people from IT company are working, who is doing what category of work, how much work they are doing, and then accordingly you identify whether I need to pay these many people or not. Okay, so in turn what happens is because you have to hire a manager, the client side cost may increase. Or you can go with fixed fee model, that is you pay a fixed amount for the given work and you don't worry about hiring a manager on your side, identifying how many people are working from the IT company side, and then accordingly manage all those things. Okay, so you put up quotation any in any sense, like let's say company B puts up quotation as fixed fee 1 million USD. Company C puts up a billing rate based quotation, okay, and company D also puts up a fixed fee quotation. Like let's say I'll charge you 700,000 USD. for doing this category of work. Now, client can revisit this entire structure, entire work again. That what is my goal or vision? Based on my goal or vision, what kind of proposal was submitted, and does the billing or the money aspect matches the proposal and my budget as well? Based on that, what client could do is maybe they will say that okay, for company B, I give you the contract and I give some contract to company C as well. Okay, maybe to B and C I give the contract, or I just give the contract to company B alone. Okay, it is up to the client how they want to do it, whether they want to give the entire contract to one company, whether they want to split the contract between multiple companies. That is up to them, because at the end of the day they are paying money, so they get to decide. Okay, now once you have decided how many companies you are going to work with, then remember the term we talked about, SOW. Okay, statement of work. So that is when client will sign SOW with IT company B and C. Or suppose if they are giving contract to B alone, they will just sign the contract with company B. Okay. Now that you have signed SOW, now that we have a client in place, so that now is the time where we get started with our work. Okay. That is where we will start talking about in upcoming days SDLC. What's the SDLC model? Okay, and our upcoming discussions will be focused on related to SDLC. What is SDLC? What BA will do in SDLC? Okay, so those are the different aspects, but there are a couple of concepts still left that we will try to cover in upcoming days, related to basics of the again IT industry. So as of today, we talked about different type of IT companies and what happens before, or what happens before a work actually gets started. That is the pre-project activities. In the upcoming sessions, what we will be discussing is the team structure. Okay, we in our initial class we talked about certain characters like technical architect, development lead, QA lead. We talked about some of these people in our class. We talked about BA. So in the upcoming classes, what we want to discuss is how these people interact with each other. Okay, when do you interact with whom, so that you understand those concepts little better. On when should I talk to someone, you will at least have a guiding point. I'm not saying that these have to be followed strictly. In IT industry, the good thing is that there is nothing like you have to follow something strictly. There is always some flexibility. Okay, but in order to avail that flexibility, you must have some basic knowledge. So in the upcoming classes we will discuss about what are the different set of people, how do they interact with each other, and on what circumstances do they interact with each other. That is, we are going to study about team structure, and then depending on the type of project. See, here we discussed about that client and IT company will sign SOW. Okay, so we will further dig this into detail, that based on SOW, how do you decide how many people should be in a team? Okay, so once we cover these two topics, team structure and depending on the SOW, how to identify how many members will be in the team. Once that those two concepts are also done, we are probably covered the basics of the IT industry. Okay, so for someone who is new to IT industry, now you will have fair bit of idea on what are the different categories of company, how the work process. If anyone talks of SOW term, you will not be scratching your head thinking what is this, why that, why this. Okay, you can always refer to these notes recordings plus your experience as well. Okay, so in the upcoming classes we will cover those topics, those as in the IT team structure and the project types, and then we will gradually move on to more technical topics like SDLC, the roles and responsibilities of a BA in the IT companies, and then stakeholder management and even more technical topics. So, any questions? We are almost at the end of time. Yeah, I'll take the silence as no questions. Thank you everyone for your time. We'll connect tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow. We'll connect on Monday at the same time, 7 a.m. IST. Thank you.